a win for the Foundation. They say something about psychohistory, which I quite like.
It is a landscape that sometimes narrows into a dangerous mountain pass that can't be avoided. That's why we call it a crisis.
So I really like this landscape analogy with the mountain pass, because if a crisis is sitting at the mountain pass, there's all these possibilities before you get to the mountain of how to get to the mountain pass. Once you get to the mountain pass, you have to go through the mountain pass. So all of these, if the landscape is how you move through time as a civilization, the mountain pass can represent a crisis where most of the paths converge to a single event or a single area that is almost the same event. Really like that.
I like that in terms of the show's interpretation of psychohistory, although I think in terms of the book's interpretation of psychohistory, there needs to be other mountain passes. Also, some people that just climb directly over the mountain, they do it the hard way. But this seems a little bit of a naive interpretation because it's like, you don't have to go to the mountain pass. You could also just turn around. But I do like this. I like that they're considering lots of different possibilities. Whereas in Foundation Season 2, Episode 1, they portrayed it like, it was portrayed like a single path of a single fork, and then this red path has all these other red paths. I like this. Very good.
The only objection I have here is that he says the essential part of the crisis is the fact that there's a single mountain pass for all the trajectories to go through. I don't know if that necessarily means it's a crisis. That could just mean a turning point. Like the Foundation has to move from agriculture to solar power. Like, not a crisis, but it will happen because all the paths converge.
Say all the paths converge to everyone in Foundation wins the lottery. Like, that's not a crisis. Like,
That's not a crisis.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. So I guess the crisis is the mountain pass plus some turning point event that makes it a crisis. So interesting. We're getting conflicting descriptions in the show about what is psychohistory. Is it this many trajectories situation, or is it dependent on special people like Salvor or Gale? It's unclear. It's interesting.